Hey, I'm Supats, lifelong solopreneur. Now living my life with only one passion to help solopreneurs to launch their digital products on fast track so that they can be profitable as fast as within 1 week, and they want to scale, they can join the membership. And as a bonus, I show them how they can sell their digital products all over the world using affiliates. Without further delay, let's get started. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to New Beginning Inspiration for You podcast. And as our promise, we will have a guest today who will move the needle in your business. This guest is really special. I have never interviewed someone who is focusing on peak performance, peak success, and ultimate peak existence. And our today's guest is specialized in that. Without further delay, let me invite Satyen. Satyen Raja, stage is all yours. I want to know more about your journey, how you got started, and I just want to know how you reached at this particular point. So I want to know more about your story.
Thank you, Sue, and thank you everyone who's listening today. So I'm Satyen Raja. I'm the founder of Warrior Sage Academy. And I started very young. I come from an Indian family, and I started very young on the spiritual path studying Kung Fu, Shaolin Kung Fu, which is it's a spiritual path of martial arts where we learn to master our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual dimension, not for the sake of our ego and to be strong and to harm others, but to learn how to fortify our true nature and awaken our true nature. And that was my beginning. I started in martial arts, and now I've been practicing now for 45 years. It's still my yoga, my backbone. And the teachings that came from martial arts led me also to the healing arts, because in our tradition of Kung Fu, not only must you be good at martial capacity and self-defense and such, you also have to learn how to heal and serve others and be a member of society by your service and your contribution. And so these two, that martial warrior mindset as well as the healing consciousness side, came very strong in my life. And because I come from a lineage of business leaders, my father's side, my mother's side are Gandhian, they're all Gandhi type family, and their understanding and their social service. So these two forces combined in me, and I became very inspired about creating businesses and to enlighten you. You know, my mission is to enlighten, unify, and mobilize leaders for the greater good. So our Warrior Stage Academy has been leading, over 1,000 workshops over since 1999, and we've had over 100,000 students and business leaders of all types come and elevate their personal life, their spiritual life, and that elevation within allows them to elevate their businesses in the way of flow rather than struggle, overwhelm, tiredness, exhaustion. So this is a little bit of my story that I've been at now for many years.
No, this is really great because growing up, I really thought business and spirituality are two extremes and they don't mix together. And I learned it a really, really hard way. I'm because I was very much spiritual and I was anti-business person. And then as I got more into spirituality, I realized that business is nothing but just you serve more people and then you are rewarded. And so you learned it actually early stage, and that's really great. And hey, means yeah, you are in kung fu. No wonder you look so fit, and so no, so physically fit, mentally fit, emotionally fit, everything. Yeah, and yeah, you are the one. You can surely add value to other people's lives, no doubt about it. And it's really great to serve people, and especially to have spiritual background means it's you will be creating win-win situation all the time.
Thank
So yeah, so just you. So what kind of businesses you had, or the current offering you have? Yeah, that I know because I saw your website. Your website is amazing. It's really, really high class website, and I was really impressed. And I think if someone goes on that website, yeah, really they will be impressed. But you you had any other businesses before, or how did
Yes.
you means basically?
Yeah, so I started with work with my family businesses. So my parents had restaurants, they had different types of stores, import, export. So as a young boy, young fellow, I accompanied my parents, my father in business. So I learned many things about customer service, how to give of your heart, how to take care of people. My parents were a very powerful inspiration. Coming from being career business people for generations, I learned from my father. I remember once at our restaurant, someone was unhappy with one of the meals. There was a whole family table. He replaced the meal right away, and at the end of the when they had their bill, he erased the whole bill, not just that one replacement of that meal, but he was so generous. He didn't want any customer to feel negative in any way, and those clients became so loyal. They went, "My goodness, you've taken care of us." That extra, going the extra mile, serving them. In our Indian traditions, we treat our guests as the divine manifestation
Oh
of the
yeah.
divine. And so I learned that any of these guests coming into our household, coming into our restaurant, what if they're God in disguise and they're testing us? How can we be with someone brand new, a stranger, who's coming for our service, our product? How can we serve them in a way that only not only fulfills the product and the service, but uplifts their being, makes them loyal? Customer service is outdated. Customer loyalty is what's valuable, very valuable, because then they share for a lifetime. So I learned these caring principles: give over, over under promise, over deliver, or over promise and over deliver. It doesn't matter. So these were very powerful imprints I had, and that led me into many other dimensions. My businesses, I've had hypnotherapy centers. I've been a franchisee, a franchisor of these therapeutic centers, healing centers across Canada. I've had martial arts schools. I've been involved in real estate business for many years. So and I've also, I'm a partner and advisor to multiple businesses, and I'm on boards. And so my philosophy of the warrior sage, which is integrating enlightened power, enlightened love, enlightened freedom, enlightened flow or flow state, and enlightened wisdom. To me, I've found that by injecting all our organizations and companies with these foundational principles, they all soar. Fulfillment happens, joy happens, profits happens, and most importantly, our teams become very loyal because we are tuning into what will make them joyful, how can I put them in the right place, the right position, so that their greatest gifts are being brought to the forefront. So this philosophy of bringing, business and spirituality and emotional well-being together, it's essential nowadays. It's essential. It's not a luxury. It's an essential for business of today to thrive.
You hit the nail, and actually you said that okay, we see divine in our guest. So yeah, so Sanskrit phrase for it is Atithi Devo Bhava. Yeah, means basically you find God in your guest, and that is so crucial, that is so critical, and treat others the way you want to be treated. And I remember it's such a great upbringing for you. And I remember even in my case, I remember the servants who worked at our place, my mom treated them so well that they would have worked at our place for free.
Yes.
Because my mom just worked them, helped them, and means basically she treated them just like a family. And it was such a great experience growing up. And so you also had similar story. It is so, and it is really nice to see that you were involved into the health and healing process from the beginning, because otherwise most of the people, especially entrepreneurs, they devote their life for their business, and mostly going after material things. And when they realize okay, they need healing or they need health, it's generally too late. You can even give the example of Steve Jobs. When he was on the deathbed, his last write-up was full of regrets. That he said, people thought that I had a really great life, but they don't know that I didn't have any friends, I didn't pursue my hobbies, and I can trade everything except the sick bed. and you incorporated all those principles from the beginning of your life, and that is really amazing. And I think it's a great blessing, and now you are showering all those blessings to your clients. That is, yeah,
Thank you.
it's really, I think divine is working through you. It's really great way that you can serve God's creation. It's really amazing. I really appreciate that. Uh, I was looking at your profile, and the one thing actually, it didn't become clear to me. So I want to ask you, so why sex, power, and money are the keys to your legacy? Because sex is generally considered actually not a part of so called clean or clear messaging as such. It is generally considered the other side of messaging. So will you please clarify this?
Absolutely. You see, as leaders, we all have a particular energy, and we have a powerful energy of creation. Those who are business people, by their nature, they are creators. I am a creator, you're a creator, anyone involved in creating more service or product. We have a creative energy. In our yogic tradition, this is our prana, our shakti, our life force that God has given us, that's through our body. When our ego captures this life force and uses it for itself, we have aberrations and we shoot ourselves in the foot as leaders. We see so many leaders ascending on the path of success, and then they have some crazy affairs, or they do things with their power dynamics, power over others, or incongruity, or they're not integral with their use of power, or their money, they're not clear, again, not integral, or they have fear regarding their money. Even if they have much money coming in, they may have unconscious fear of losing it, which makes them overly aggressive, it makes them overly fearful. So sex, power, and money are the fundamental lower chakras of our body. And when the ego has captured these, sex, power, and money can be our self destruction as we gain more power and success in our life. We see movie producers taking advantage of other, actresses and such because of their power position. So it's very valuable for us as leaders, for us to continue to grow in our multidimensional success, not just material, but at a soul level, at a fulfillment level, at a societal level with our families, to master the awakening of these energies. So this is why all the business leaders, I teach them about Tantra, the understanding of our sacred sexual life force, and it's not to be just spent wantonly. It has to be cultivated in a sacred way. So this is becoming a true enlightened man, a warrior, or a true and enlightened goddess on this planet when we activate and purify and awaken these energies. And then when we awaken our true power, not our ego's power for more, more, more. You see, the ego has two forms: self-aggrandizing or self-diminishing. This is the hidden one, the self-diminishing one. We don't think of that as ego, but both are forms of self-importance, the self-aggrandizement or the diminishment. And these lead to self-destruction. They lead to losing everything you want, everything you've built up. So it's essential as leaders take these things seriously and not just put them at the side and say, I need to cultivate enlightenment in these areas so that my tree, as I grow stronger through the years, my business becomes like an oak. It doesn't get knocked over because these energies have been purified, released, and awakened through the heart and through higher consciousness. This is why this is why all our Rishi Munis, all our wisdom teachers have been saying this is where we must master these foundations so we can elevate rather than descend into illusion and ignorance and pain and suffering.
Yeah, that is so true, because that is my prayer. That I say, okay, God, I'm looking for all these blessings, but when you bless me, just make sure that keep my ego intact. Means basically, I don't want my ego to be overpowering, because yeah, once you start getting all those blessings, then you start thinking you are the greatest, and then hey, and you have so many testimonials that people, they started thinking they are like god, and then they destroyed themselves. They actually had their own path for destruction. So this is so true. I totally agree with your teachings. So what about the truth about power? So why most leaders fall to achieve fulfillment? Because they focus more on the lower chakra, as you mentioned, or there are some other elements also there?
With power, we've had many imprints of unhealthy power in our lives. Very few imprints of enlightened power we have in our society from our leaderships. I was very blessed. You seem very blessed as well. Some of us have been blessed with models, idols, icons who have a true wisdom regarding their power. But not all of us have that. And for those of us who don't, we've been imprinted with power from people with high egos or are only self serving. They might have material success, but behind the scenes, they're very suffering. They're not happy. They're not joyful. So I went down that road. Everything I'm sharing with you, Sue, is not because I came with some higher enlightenment. It's because I've learned the hard way, very hard way. I almost lost my family and my children because I went down those roads of extreme success, extreme serving the world, becoming a rock star to other people. But then my own wife, my own children are feeling they don't get to see their father. Where's my husband? He's traveling on the road all the time. It took me a drowning accident about 12 years ago that made me, it was a slap in the face. You know, God made me wake up and said, listen, you have made the world your priority, but not your own family. Come back to the roots. So I had to do that, but I learned almost through facing death. And what I want to share with other business leaders, you don't have to go to this extreme where your ego has pushed you to the outer limits where it's now going to self-destruct. If you're listening to my heart, my soul, my voice now, then it's important to say, okay, let me have an inventory of my life. Where am I constantly struggling, overwhelming? Where am I pushing far too hard? Extreme yang, extreme forcefulness. And then start to recognize these are elements of our ego's desire, not our soul's desire. Our soul's desire is in this moment. It is about equilibrium, equanimity. It's about, for me, enjoying what I call the freedoms, enlightened faith. So faith in ourselves, faith in the divine, faith in our families, faith in our loved ones, faith. Family, creating healthy families, not just businesses, healthy families, our spouses, our children, enjoying the preciousness of life. Fitness, taking what we have in our body and treating our bodies well as a conduit of God's grace so that we're healthy, we're vital, we get to live with joy. And then finances, not just about making more money, earning, saving, spending, investing from wisdom. So it's not out of our ego's clamor for more, but out of our soul's desire for fulfillment and a natural abundance. And then, so these are the faith, family, finance, fitness. And then the last one is fun, the enjoyment of life, enjoying not future. When I achieve this goal, then I'll be finally free to be happy. This is crazy. We need to understand that we can enjoy the joys of life starting right now. So this is the overall cultivation that I train my CEOs and business leaders in is maintaining on equilibrium. And paradoxically, Sue, their businesses grow. Their happiness grows. They think if I pull away from business, it'll deteriorate the business. And yes, I might have more equilibrium in other areas. But the paradox happens. When you relinquish the ego's desire for more, you'll find more comes to you.
Yeah, this is so true because I remember when my husband was with startup, and I hardly saw him. And so that time, actually, my friends used to say, most of the divorces happen during startup time because they really ignore their families. And hey, yeah, you learn hard way. And it's always, actually, when you learn from your own mistakes, you learn. Yeah, it is good to learn from your own mistakes, no doubt about it, but it's a hard way. But when you have a mentor in your life and your mentor says, don't do that way and do this way, this is what I suffered, I don't want you to suffer. So it is always better to learn from somebody else's mistakes. So now you are mentoring other people and you're telling them, don't do this way. So they are having shortcut to success, and you learn hard way and they are learning smart way. So it is such a great idea to have a mentor like you in their life, so that they don't have to go through the path what you went through. And also I like the statement you mentioned, that in this moment. And I think most of the people, I'm not saying most of the people, even I can say myself also, I have to work really hard on this. Either they are thinking about the past or future, and when you are thinking about past, it is mostly you are thinking about your mistakes. It's not like that you are thinking about really great moments you had. That's rarely happens. So you're thinking about your mistakes, or if you're thinking about future, generally you are worrying about future. And the current moment is, it is the present, that is the, that's why it is called present, right? And so you should have mindfulness and think about the present moment, and that is a gift given to you, and enjoy that moment, and that will really change your life. It is so good. And also I like the idea you mentioned about fun. I remember I was crafting my sales page, and before publishing it, I'm part of many masterminds and memberships, and also I was giving my sales page for review, and I had mentioned that fun. And one group of people, they said, I don't incorporate fun into my business. If I want to have fun, I will go out with my friends. My business is like my chore, and that's my work. And I said, no, but I would like to have fun in my business. I like to enjoy whatever I do. And then I got reviewed it by other people, and other people didn't object it. So it is just like one set of people, they were against it. But I really like that you are for fun. So hey, and this is really fun conversation we are having, though it is really deep and still high level. But hey, you are making everything so simple so that my audience can really understand, and yeah, they can get nuggets from you. So I just wanted to ask you, so it clearly shows that you have a purpose, and that is way beyond profit. So how did you craft that? Because when someone starts a business, it's only about profit, profit, profit. And of course, they start a business with a purpose, but then their purpose is profit.
Yes.
So tell me, when you say purpose beyond profit, what do you mean by that?
So, what I do is with my own company and the other companies I serve, we look directly at the mission first of all. And you've heard the principle of our mission should be our North Star, what we're aiming for, what we're projecting for, what we inspire, lead, and evoke in our teams to move towards. When this mission is aligned at a core level of being and flushed out and pulled from at a soul level of being, it becomes alive and real. Let me give you an example. One of my clients, Paul, he ran a very powerful software company that had created a software that detects mechanical errors way in advance through algorithms and through machine learning of any machinery. So, industrial, you name it. But when his engineers were trying to express this to me, and he's been going for about 10 years, having a struggling time aiming to uh, build and grow and sell the business. And then I sat down with them for 2 days, the engineers. Their mission was very long, convoluted, traditional business model, but it was not striking the heart, the soul. I sat down with them and we recrafted the mission. And the new mission became creating a world that doesn't break down. That mission of creating a world that doesn't break down, CEO Paul became so inspired. Um, we did training on how to present, and he presented it so powerfully to organizations, teams. Well, in a short story, the company took off. Within less than 2 years, he had a very high level exit, where he did very well for himself. and the company has continued to take the software and put it into so many uses around the world, from railways to airplanes to you name it, so we can avoid many crashes, many accidents, many problems down the road. And so here's an example of a very powerful technology, but it wasn't evoked at a soul level. What does it mean to us? By bringing on people like us to help them find that, then that's one example of many, where all of a sudden having a powerful soulful mission, creating a world that doesn't break down, brought everyone together, unified, and the expression of the potency of that mission made it so that there was a lineup of purchasers bidding for the company. This can be done whether you have a small company, medium sized, large, it doesn't matter. We have to go back to the foundation of why the company exists. Then, once again, when everyone is aligned around a higher purpose, such as this, creating a world that doesn't break down, the energy comes, the prana comes, Lakshmi comes, because now we become abundant on many levels of being. And then obviously we prosper. But it's a different way of thinking and being. It requires that we take the risk to go within and to know that our success is more within than just extra, more willpower, more marketing, more driving, more force. There's a more powerful way of getting the success we want, but that comes from inner alignment.
Yeah, that is so true because your mindset actually, first it has to be manifested in your mind, heart, brain, everywhere before it just manifested in reality and in physical realm. And it's basically your whatever success, and you can measure success whichever scale you want to measure with, but it is directly proportional to your self image, your being. It's directly proportional to that, and you are actually addressing the core values, and that is really important. I also have a question for you, because since you seem to have such a balanced approach, and I just see solopreneurs, they are into endless hustle, because most solopreneurs actually they quit their 40 hours of job to start their own business, end up working 80 hours, wear all kinds of hats, and the hustle never ends, that leads to burnout. So I just want some tips from you, because I really feel you can guide them. So how can they lead with effortless power? How can they lead with ease?
It's a beautiful question, Sue. So I've been a solo entrepreneur, and now I've grown. I have a team. I've had many teams in my life, up to 30 people in my team. My CEO has had hundreds on his team, but we all start as solopreneurs. And this is a sacred disposition that, first of all, you need to congratulate yourself, no matter how hard you're working, how hard you're hustling. First of all, love and accept that you have this unique creativity, to want to have this self-reliance, this self-creation, your own business that you grow. So I first of all want to commend, acknowledge, and celebrate everyone who is an entrepreneur, no matter what size, and if it's just you yourself. This is a very powerful, it's a path of spiritual growth, whether you realize it or not. Becoming an entrepreneur, solopreneur, and then growing from there is a powerful spiritual path, because you have to face people, you have to face yourself, you have to face fear, you have to face limitation, you have to face so many obstacles, economies, up and down, uncertainties, volatility. A person who can develop themselves to face all the ups and downs of life and business that happen, you're a spiritual warrior. So you're not just a solopreneur. You have within you a spiritual warrior. Now, how do you relinquish this grinding, overly hustle? Hard work is necessary. Work and effort is necessary. But struggle is effort that's laced with negative emotion. So we need effort, but not struggle. Struggle is the additional emotional energy, the exasperation, the complaining, the whining, the mental tension we put on it. This can all be healed, transformed, removed, so that the effort is there, intention, which has far more power in creation and success than desire. Most entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, are working from the desire realm. There's a deeper intentional realm, which is even deeper, more quiet. It's a quiet power sourced in the soul. It doesn't say, I want, need, I must have. It simply intends. It has a willingness. We have the willingness to act and the willingness to have. If we have that willingness to have our goals and the willingness to act on them, and we reduce the importance, the attachment to the how and to the end result, then magically, powerfully, it rolls towards us rather than us forcing ourselves towards it.
Oh, this is so true. I think this is the gist of Gita because yeah, so how I started applying that in my life, that okay, if it happens my way, it's good, but if it doesn't happen my way, then it is happening God's way. That is even better. So you can detach yourself from the results, but of course you put efforts into it. And also I really totally agree with you that becoming entrepreneur, it is a spiritual journey. So entrepreneurship or solopreneurship, it is the, I think, the best self development program. And so unless you develop yourself, you cannot serve other people properly. But first you have to develop yourself, you have to invest in yourself, and you become the best version of you. And of course it's not going to be perfect, never, because as far as you are living human being, you are never going to be perfect. But as far as you are better today than yesterday, it is a great journey. And many times people think that being spiritual, that means relinquish everything, leave everything behind and go to jungle or forest. Actually that is easy to do, because then you are living with just yourself. And it's everything predictable, means other than the what universe is throwing at you, everything else is predictable. But when you are with people, and you cannot predict them, you don't know how they are going to behave, how they are going to act, we don't know exactly what they are thinking. And at that point, when you think of these spiritual principles, your business journey becomes so simple and so easy. And I'm a spiritual person, means though, because I'm yeah, I know more about Sanatan Dharma, but I studied other religions too. And the most sentence I use in my business journey is that God, please forgive them. They don't know what they are doing. And that is the Jesus's last sentence. Because yeah, in your business journey, you come across with some people like that. And instead of just arguing and fighting with them, it is just better to just say them, because hey, you don't want to fight a pig, right? Because then you become dirty and pig loves it. So sometimes yeah, you have to choose that route too. So there are so many spiritual principles, and especially if you implement all that into your personal life and business life, your life will be totally fulfilled and flourish, no doubt about it. So now in our audience we have all kinds of people, mostly solopreneur entrepreneurs, and who are either getting started into business or scaling their business. But we also have course creators, affiliate marketers, we have all kinds of people. And so, who is your ideal customer profile, and how do you help them, and where can they find you?
They can find me at warriorsage.com, warriorsage.com. You can also find me on Instagram at Satyen Raja. I'm on YouTube, Satyen Raja, or warriorsage.com. I'm on LinkedIn. So you can find me on all the social media channels, as well as LinkedIn and Facebook. But my main website is warriorsage.com. And what I would recommend everyone, if you're moved by what I'm sharing, is start off with my book set called Transcendent CEO and Transcendent Culture. It's a book set. Transcendent CEO is for all levels of entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and it's a book of wisdom. All the teachings, deep dives, stories of my CEOs that have achieved great success. It's very inspiring and very pragmatic. And then Transcendent Culture comes with that book, and that is how to create your own super team when you're ready to expand and create a powerful team that's inspired and loyal. That's how to create that. And then the next step I would recommend is come and attend one of my very powerful intimate retreats. We have retreats for solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, and this is called the Transcendent Leader Retreat. Or Transcendent Leader. It's an initiation. And it's done over a weekend, and I hold these different times during the year, and people come from all around the world to experience this immersive. And this is where we enlighten the sex, power, and money, and we also experience depth of awakening, very powerful spiritual awakening, and we experience deep healing of our unconscious wounds that hold us back from the multidimensional success we truly deserve. So consider it a supercharged way to bring yourself into fast and deep alignment to achieve your highest goals. So that's all available on my warriorstage.com. You can find out about it there.
So just want to know more about your retreats. Are they in person, and where are they located, and or virtual?
These
So
are
how
in
can
person
someone join?
immersives. So, in person live immersives, and we hold them sometimes here in Canada, my location. We have a beautiful location in British Columbia. And then I also hold them in Hawaii, which is, we have another one of our locations there. And then I also hold them by private groups. Invite me, private business groups, EO, YPO, Tiger 21, other different types of business groups invite me to hold private retreats for their teams, organizations. So if any of that inspires you, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to discuss that with you.
Yeah, that looks really interesting. Actually, my husband took early retirement, and now the only thing he thinks of is actually going for the health retreats and travel and all. So I think even, yeah, we would like to join. Yeah, so sure, we love Canada, we love Hawaii, so or even other locations. Sure, we would love to join, and listeners means take advantage of it, because just within half an hour, if he can empower you so much. So can you just imagine being with him and his team, and all other entrepreneurs, just whole weekend, and yeah, we're just working on yourself so that your life can be better. I think there is no better chance than just joining this
Thank you.
retreat. So I totally appreciate. And I asked whatever I wanted to ask, but in case I missed something, if you want to give a parting message to our audience, yeah, please
No,
feel free to
the
do so
main thing I
here.
want to share is that us as entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, whatever stage of business that you're in, I want to reinforce that if we approach this as a path of growth, a path of personal evolution, a path of more than just material success, but the gaining and deepening of our wisdom in our flow, in our joy in life, that we could actually have everything we want. I didn't think this was possible, but I am truly blessed, and the amazing leaders I'm truly blessed to serve, they have everything that they want. It took time, it took study, it took development, it took shedding of the old ways and healing of old paradigms. But now they have a life worth living, worth fulfilling, where they're not delaying success into the future. They're enjoying the bounty and the abundance of life now. So, my final words are, what must we do to live, to love, to die complete without any regret? As an entrepreneur, as a leader? What must we do to live, to love, to die complete without any regret? When we ask ourselves this and we become loyal to the answer from within our soul, then our success is assured. We cannot fail.
Thank you. I really appreciate. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for coming and blessing our community. Our community is our family. And listeners, please go to his website, look at the upcoming retreat, and yeah, just yeah, take charge of your life so that your life tomorrow, future is better than yeah what you have right now. And it is surely possible if you follow Satyen Raja and his teaching. Thank you. Really appreciate you being here. Thank you, and God bless you. Keep up the great work. Yeah, it was such a blessing to know you, and yeah, had a great time to chat with you.
A
Thank
true
you.
joy. So, namaskaram. And to all the listeners, watchers, many
Thank you.
blessings on your journey and your path.
Thank you.
Success stories from busy Sujata R.
Hey, thanks for joining us. We are blessed to have you as part of our community, and whatever way we can help you, serve you, let us know. Please subscribe and let us know how we can help you, what resources you want. We have lots of free resources and also free collaboration joint venture groups you can join and explode your business, because most solopreneurs quit their business before they launch their first products, and I don't want that to happen to you. And that's why we have special launch service where you can monetize your digitals and become profitable as fast as within 7 days. And if you want to scale your business, join our membership New Beginning Success Collaboration, where we'll provide you MRR and PLR products and collaborations so that you can scale your business with ease and effortlessly. And hey, if you want to sell your digitals all over the world, yes, we will provide you affiliates more than 200 countries. So everything is possible. Just live your dream, follow your dream, and whichever way we can help you, do let us know. Thank you and God bless you.